editing ribbon here. I know it's kind of weird for having editing ribbon open the video, but editing ribbon is also closing the video too. Lol, because I realized I didn't really do an intro. So yeah, March Madness just around the corner. That literally starts tomorrow. It literally starts in a few hours. This video is getting uploaded right now. Hooray! But yeah, I go through here. I'd probably make a couple mistakes in this video. One being there weren't all the seeding games done. There was 2 seeding games left. I was dumb. I didn't realize when I recorded that. It doesn't matter. My picks would have stayed the same anyway. So that is all done as well. As well as there is a couple times where I kind of refer to the women's video, like women's bracket being in this video too. That's going to be its own video. I encourage you guys to watch that when it comes out tomorrow. But yeah, I'm going to edit that one and do a bit more filming on that one tomorrow, just keeping it separate. But yeah, I'm going to let Tired Ruben continue with this from the other night and enjoy. Yo, it is Wednesday, it's 18th of March. That means March Madness starts officially in just over a day. Well, at least brackets close then. So all the seeding games are finally done. We know who is where. And I am putting a March Madness bracket through. My March Madness knowledge is pretty bad. My college basketball knowledge, like the most I've ever watched in a run would be like Jared McCain's March Madness run, right? So I don't know a whole lot, you know? But anyway, we're going to give this a go. I've got this screen recording up. I hope this works. I hope this shows, like I hope you can see. Ignore the fact that it's Ruben and a bunch of numbers. Okay, I don't know how to change that. Lol. This bracket I have up right now is the men's one. Let's get into it. I mean, Duke's going to beat Siena. That's a very simple pick. I mean, I'm going to go through each round and then each side, you know? But, so I mean, Duke went 32-2. You obviously got Cam Boozer. Cam Boozer is going to be wanting to make a deep run to kind of show off his skills and stuff, and that's what we're going to get here. And then we go straight into the 8 versus 9 seed in the East. That's Ohio State versus TCU, right? And I mean, where's my Ohio State? They were 21-12. They ended off the season pretty well, like shooting wise. Since February 20, like end of Feb, they've been playing quite well. So I think that they're going to carry on that form. They do go up against TCU, but I just think Ohio State's form recently is going to carry them over, and they're going to win this game here. Next, you got St. John's versus Northern Iowa. Another really interesting pick for me. I'm going with the favorites. I'm going with St. John. I mean, 28-6. You know, they're very similar to how they set up last year, from everything I can see in statistics-wise as well. They have shown that they can beat big teams as well. So I think that they are able to. Their defense is quite good, so I think they're going to be able to carry on and beat Northern Iowa. No issue there. Kansas versus Cal Baptist. I'm going Kansas. I think that obviously you got Darren Peterson there. He is my number 1 pick in the draft. I love Darren Peterson. I think he is a phenomenal basketball player. My thing is, obviously, he got some questions of him subbing himself out of games and stuff like that. I don't think he does that here. I think he wants to push. I think he wants to get his draft stock up. So Kansas will go through. I think that Darren Peterson's going to be really important to that as well. Okay, next we have Louisville versus South Florida. So, I mean, if you want to have a look at Louisville here, they are 23-10. So, I mean, Mike Brown Jr. is iffy, to play, and he is really important for their team's offense. From what I've seen, what I've heard, what I've read, he's really important. And South Florida, I mean, 11th seed. I'm going with another favorite here. I think that their offense is a top 10, with obviously he's missed part of the season, but I think Louisville just overall as an average team, they go through. Michigan State versus North Dakota. Michigan State generally have a really solid team, and I mean, look, once again, the Spartans, they went 25-7. They have they're just a really solid team, so that's why I pick them here, just because I think they're really solid. Overall, they don't really have many prospects that are going to go high in the draft, especially not round 1. But overall, I just think that they are a really solid team. They have a top 15 ranked defense. All the it's NUMPOM or whatever that's called is the rankings that I'm using for college basketball. It's all off one website, all off it's every college team's offensive and defensive rating. But yeah, whatever. UCLA versus UCF. Where's my UCLA notes? UCLA. So they are, obviously they decent team. They're very reliant on Donovan Dent. So when he averages over 16 points and 11 assists, they go 6-1. Even though their defense isn't great, I think that Donovan Dent at least has enough juice in his tank to carry him through the first game. I've not picked a single upset yet, and I'm not gonna now. UConn versus Furman. I'm going UConn there. The Huskies, solid team. Right, very, very solid. I mean, Dan Hurley, their coach, I love their coach. He was rumored to go to the Lakers a couple of years ago, and I still wish that happened. I love the way that he kind of treats some players like American football. But anyway, he is great. He's gone for his third natty in 4 years. That's only been done by how many? Hasn't been done since the 1970s, right? I think they have a really good experienced team. They're very solid. I think that UConn are going to go through. Okay. I did not mean to have... This one's going to be important. Anyway, let's go back up to here. Arizona, Long Island. The Wildcat. Arizona kind of gone through. They're 32-2. I mean, you got Bradley getting Big 12 Player of the Year. Braden Burns, all Big 12, all Big 12 first team. Koa Pete, potential lottery pick. I like Koa Pete. I think that he's going to have a big run because he wants to get himself into that lottery. So I think we see that there. And I mean, just a really solid all-round team. There's a reason they went they're a 1 seed, right? 32-2. I'm picking them. Villanova versus Utah State. Now this is interesting here. Villanova have 5 players over 10 points per game, right? They're solid. And you got a player like Duke Brannon, 14 double-doubles. They're very, they're not excellent at either. They're not elite on either side. They're just very solid. And I mean, they're not reliant on one player. That's why I have them beating Utah State here as well. Wisconsin, High Point. Look, this is going to be super uninteresting till we get to the second round because I'm picking Wisconsin. I mean, you want to look at them there, 24-10. They've beaten big teams as well. They got veteran leadership, and they've proven that they're good in the clutch. So even if it ends up being a bit of a close game, Wisconsin have proven time and time again that they are good in those close games, and they're pretty solid. That's why I'm going for them there. Okay, Arkansas, Hawaii. Arkansas. I mean, I'm going Arkansas there. They're Razorbacks. They're 26-8. So they. 26-8. They consistently do well. They've got Akuf Jr., who is estimated around pick 6. He's a lottery pick. I like him. They have a top 10 offense. I think they're very solid offensively. I pick them there. BYU versus Texas. So BYU is what seed are they? It's right there, isn't it? A 6 seed, right? BYU, the AJ DeBarnster, top 3. I think they go through here. As much as Longhorns have got a cool logo, I guess. I think that AJ DeBarnster is a great player. I think there's a reason he's going to go top 3 or should go. He led the nation in scoring, and he's had one of the best offensive seasons in college basketball in recent history. Right, top 10 offense. I think they go through there. Gonzaga are going to cook Kenshaw as well. Gonzaga, I mean, they went 30-3. They do have I believe his name's Braden Huff, if I pronounce that right. He's out. That's a big loss for them. So their offense has dropped off a bit, but their defense is still top 10, and I think they just smothered that Kenshaw State defense. Now, this is where we have an interesting one. So you got Miami, Florida, right? So the University of Miami, the Canes, they started off quite bad. They started off quite bad, right? They started off bad. They've had a good turnaround. They have kind of been messed about here though. So they have Missouri 10, right? The 10th seed Missouri. They have the 10th seed in Missouri that they're playing against, right? That is in Missouri's home court. It's in St. Louis. Like, they are very unlucky, and I think that affects Miami mentally, and I'm picking Missouri to win that game just for that. I think that home court makes a big advantage, even though, yeah, I picked them. Not that Missouri's going to go that far, because I have Purdue beating Queens there. I mean, Purdue, another solid year. When Braden Smith is back as well, they're a really, really good three-point team. They had a shaky end to the season, but I mean, still one of, if not the best offenses in college basketball. So I pick them to go through. Okay. South. I just kind of exposed my LeBron lock screen there, didn't I? Lol. Do we not have... Oh, we still have a couple of seeding games to go. I thought we'd done all of them. Lol. Florida, doesn't matter. Florida are going through there. I mean, Florida, they are 26-7, but I mean, like, so they're the worst out of the number one seeds. But I mean, Thomas Hall, like a lottery pick, he's having a great. I do have them as the weakest one seed, but I still don't have any one seed losing really to start off with. Clemson versus Iowa. So, I mean, you look at Clemson, they are. Where's my Clemson page? Where's Clemson? Oh, my bad. I misread that. Where's Clemson? Clemson, yeah. So they're 24-10. They got good depth. A solid defense. It's an 8 versus 9. I'm gonna go Iowa over them. I'm going the Iowa Hawkeyes. I think that they just have a little bit more firepower. They're going to be able to take them out. 2 upsets in the first round, guys. Isn't that super exciting? Okay. Vanderbilt versus McNeese. Let's go back to normal. Vanderbilt's winning that one. I'm speaking so confidently for a guy that knows so little about college basketball, but fake it till you make it, I guess. So then we got Nebraska versus Troy. Great album by Bruce Springsteen versus the city that let the horse in, right? I'm going Nebraska. Awesome song. What can I say? Well, awesome. I'm going Nebraska. Awesome album, Love me some Bruce Springsteen, North Carolina versus VCU. I'm going North Carolina. Shocker, right? I like North Carolina. I mean, Caleb Wilson's a top 5 draft player. He's back from injuries. They held up well without him, though. I love Caleb Wilson. I think they're a very solid team. They beat VCU pretty convincingly. Illinois versus Penn. Illinois are going to win that one as well. Illinois, I pick Illinois going to beat Penn, right? I mean, 24-8. They got a really good, solid guard, Wagler leading them. I think their defense is a little bit weak, but it's really solid offense. They smoked Purdue earlier in the season too, so that was fun. But yeah, I picked them. Anyway, St. Mary's, Texas A&M. I am going with good old St. Mary's. They looked pretty solid. I mean, they had a good end to the season. Mikey Lewis has a really, really solid end. St. Mary's, Texas A&M. I'm going St. Mary's there. I mean, St. Mary's had a pretty solid end to their season. I guess what you classified as Mikey Lewis had a really strong end. I mean, he averaged 23 points in the last 5 games. I think he continues that form on, and they at least can wipe out Texas A&M. Next one, let's make this one quick. Houston, Cook, Idaho there as well. Houston, a very solid second seed, 28-6. They got a lottery pick in their squad as well. They don't turn the ball over a lot, right? They're very, very solid when they have the ball in their hands. They take out Idaho. Next side, we got Michigan versus Howard. Michigan beat Howard there, 31-3. They got how do you pronounce Ruben? What's your handwriting? Lenda Borg, right? 6'9", potential lottery pick. They got another, they're just a big team, right? Really tall team. Their defense is great. Really good defense, really good offense, really good overall. I really like Michigan. I think they have a potential to go really far. They're going through. Georgia versus St. Louis. I'm going Georgia here as well. I mean, it's a hard one. I'm just going Georgia on that one. Okay, Texas Tech, Akron, Texas Tech there as well. I mean, like, I think they only scraped through here, though. I think they beat Akron, but I think it's really, really close. I know JT Toppin's out with an ACL, so I reckon they could potentially... You know what? No, I'm going Akron to upset them. I'm going Akron to come out of here and win. I think that with no JT Toppin, I think Texas Tech lose out a lot, especially offensively. I'm picking them for an early exit. They're going out. Bama win. Bama beat Hofstra. I don't really think that's that much of a question. Bama, always solid, you know. Look, I understand that they they got some controversy with some roster stuff this year with like a professional player coming back, but that's whatever. They ended the season 9-1, really solid, and they're going to be good. This one here, Tennessee beating either Miami OH or SMU. Not much of a debate. I don't really know much about either of those two teams. I'm pressed for time, chat, okay? But yeah. Virginia, Wright State. I think Virginia take that one there as well. 29-6. Like, they do have a newer coach, but I mean, they're very, very heavily reliant on that 3-point, but they shoot it well, right? And really solid into the season. 7 players over 8 points per game as well. So, yeah. They will struggle against bigger teams, I feel like, Virginia. But, yeah, I pick them there. Kentucky beat St. Clara. I mean, where's Kentucky? Like, they disappointing end to the regular season, but in general have shown, like, they have some potential. So that's why I'm picking them here. And, yeah, I just don't really see St. Clara really pulling an upset out of that one there. Iowa State, beat Tennessee. I mean... Iowa State went 27-7. I cannot pronounce his last name, Monklovich, something like that. 50% from 3, right? Insane. Really, really solid like rotation as well, guard rotation. So I'm picking them to go through there. We on to round 2. Yeehaw. Duke, Ohio State. Duke go through here as well. Like I said, Duke really, really solid. Caleb Foster is out, and they have a couple players that are iffy, but, I mean, they're overall just, like, really solid, especially defensively. I think Cam Boozer he looks great in college. He's technically having a better season than Cooper Flagg last year, and I expect that to continue. I expect them to win. Okay. St. John's versus Kansas. I am picking Kansas here. I love Darren Peterson. You're going to see that. I think Darren Peterson is great. I think they go through here. I think his firepower is excellent. Michigan State versus Louisville here. So look at Michigan State. 25-7. They can beat the big teams, right? They don't have any big prospects, like any stars standouts that are young. But, I mean, they beat Kentucky, Purdue, and they have a really deep bench this year, you know? Really, really solid rotation. And they are up against, Louisville, which, like, I think if Mike Brown Jr. isn't back, or if he's back, he's not super healthy, so I'm going Michigan State there. I think they just are too solid. UConn, like I said, I love the way UConn are coached. I think Dan Hurley's incredible. I love him. I see them beating UCLA. I don't see them getting upset. I don't see a Dan Hurley team getting upset this early. Anyway, next, Arizona, Villanova, Arizona Wildcats. I mean, they have a really, really solid rotation. I like watching Koa Pete play in what I've seen of him. I think that they're going to go well. I mean, really good defense, really good offense. Arizona go through. Now, Wisconsin versus Arkansas. This is interesting. So, I mean, Wisconsin, 24-10, right? They're veteran. Like, they got a lot of vets. If the game's close, I can see Wisconsin edging out Arkansas. I mean, where's Arkansas? Arkansas is the 4th. Yep. So 26-8. Akuf Jr. is really, really solid. I'm actually going to pick Wisconsin to go through here just because of that veteran leadership. I think that proves to be so important in March Madness, and I think that is what's going to help them go through. BYU versus Gonzaga. I mean, BYU got to Banster, really, really solid firepower behind that. Like, he led the nation in scoring. This game is so crucial on him. If Gonzaga can stop them, and I mean, where's Gonzaga? They were 30-3, right? Braden Huff's still probably going to be out. Their offense has declined. Their defense is good. I'm assuming that Braden Huff is out, and I'm going for DeBonster. And I'm going BYU to win that. Another upset. I'm picking some upsets, guys. This is exciting. This bracket's going to go so bad. So bad. Anyway, Missouri, Purdue. Purdue going through there. Not much else to say. Next, Florida, Iowa. This is where Iowa and Florida go through. They are just, as much as I think they're the weakest one seed, I still think they are pretty solid. I think, I'm going to mispronounce all this, but, Thomas Ha, whatever his name is, he's going to go through. They're going to go great. Anyway, next, Vanderbilt, Nebraska. I like the name Nebraska. I'm going Nebraska. These are two teams I don't know a whole lot about. And Nebraska's an incredible album by Bruce Springsteen, his best album in my opinion, so I'm going Nebraska. Ooh, NC versus Illinois. Now, this is interesting because I would personally prefer North Carolina to go through. Just so I could see Caleb Wilson continue to play. But let me have a quick look. Illinois. 24, weak defense, good offense. Right, that's my notes. North Carolina. I think they're only this low because Caleb Wilson missing games. Caleb Wilson's going. They're going through. Was the other one a 3 seed I picked to go on? But yeah, 6 seed over a 3 seed. Lol. And St. Mary versus Houston. Houston all over, just too solid for St. Mary's, I think. Houston going through. This side of the bracket. Okay, Michigan, Georgia. Michigan is so good. Genuinely. They are just a big team, right? Really solid, really big. Defensive, yeah. Akron, Bama. Bama. I mean, just too solid. Even though I picked Akron to upset Texas Tech, even if Texas Tech go through, I think it's still Bama. That's what I see there. I think Bama go through. Tennessee versus Virginia. Virginia too strong for Tennessee. I mean, where's Virginia? 29-5. Like I said, they got a new coach, and if those 3 points are hitting, they're not going to be easy to stop, right? And I think they have so many players that are good at threes that at least a couple players are going to hit, and that's going to be them solid enough to take out Tennessee here. And then Kentucky versus Iowa State. Iowa State, they ended up 27-7. Solid guard rotation, right? They got a really good defense. Versus Kentucky. Yeah, no, I think Kentucky don't really pick up their form enough to beat Iowa State. I have them going through. Elite Eight. Okay, Duke, Kansas. Oh, I like Darren Peterson so much. I mean, it depends how healthy they are. You know what? I'm going Kansas. Yep, you know what? Who cares? I am letting the team I want to win, and that is Kansas. I'm going Kansas. This is still Kansas, Toto, or whatever that dog's name is. And yeah, anyway. Michigan, UConn. Like I said, I like Dan Hurley. I love the way he coaches. I like the teams that he runs. I think they run exceptionally well. They're going to go through. Next, Arizona, Wisconsin. Arizona go through. Arizona, they're just too solid. 32-2. Just a big team. Going to be hard to stop. BYU versus Purdue. Purdue have, shown that they can lose a couple of those, games. And I think they had a shaky end to the season. I'm not sure how healthy Braden Smith is going to be. I'm going BYU. I know it's another will BYU have DeBanster and stuff, but yeah, I'm going BYU. I think they're just really solid. I think they're going to be very, very good. BYU go through. Next one, Florida, Nebraska. Nebraska's name and the love for their album I have can only carry them so far. Florida's going through. Wait a minute. Can I... 26? I don't know. 26 and 7. Nebraska. I still come home. Anyway, Nebraska. I like that they're called the Cornhuskers. 26 and 6. How good Florida is shooting threes? Let's leave it Florida for now. I might change it. I might come back and change it. I still got a day. Anyway, North Carolina, Houston. They're very efficient, Houston. They're very efficient. This isn't North Carolina. I'm not yawning, you're yawning. Yep, North Carolina go through. I think they're just very solid. I think that Caleb Wilson being back from his injury, I think he's going to hit some form and they're going to take out Houston. Okay, Michigan, Bama. Michigan are very good. Like I said, I've said that a few times. Very big, very hard to stop. Then we got Virginia versus Iowa State. Okay, I mean, Virginia, 3-point heavy offense. Very, very, 3-point heavy versus Iowa State. And how are they looking? I mean, I like Iowa State that bit more, I think. Yeah, I like their guard rotation a bit more. I'm going them. Okay, we're down to, so my final four, we got 4th seeded Kansas, 2-seeded UConn. I'm going UConn here. I think UConn are exceptionally well coached, and I've said that a lot. I don't care. I think they are. I think they're just really well coached. So I'm going UConn there. And then we go over to this side, Arizona, BYU. This is where BYU's end comes to. Yep, I'm going number 1 seed Arizona through there as well. Florida, North Carolina. I'm going North Carolina. I am. I think Florida are a bit weak. I don't like them as much as some people do. I'm going North Carolina purely because I think Caleb Wilson's going to come back and he's going to be great. I think he's going to be dominant. So I'm going for them. Then we have Michigan versus Iowa State. Michigan are going to be very hard to stop. Like I said, very big guard rotation. Very, very solid. Now we have the final four. UConn and North Carolina. Arizona, Michigan. 2 1 seeds. So that's a bit boring. But then a 2nd and a 6th seed. I think as much as I like Caleb Wilson and North Carolina, UConn's coached better and they go through. And then we have Michigan and Arizona. I am going to, just because of Michigan's size, I have them going through over Arizona. That's a very tough one to pick. Anyway, UConn, Michigan. Oh man, this is where I think I like UConn's experience. I really do. But I'm going Michigan. I got to do a score. I'm going Michigan winning, and I'm having them win. I'm going. I think it's going to be a defensive game. I'm going 88 versus 79. Finish bracket. Edit name. Ruben 10. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I think that's done, right? Yeah, cool. Welcome back. it's me, Editing Ruben again, closing out the video. Like I said, I didn't record an outro, so that's that. It's Michigan is my pick to win. I don't think anyone else actually did a bracket, lol, but that's chill. I'm kind of just having some fun with it, so, you know, it's better to get an air ball than get a shot clock violation, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, anyway, that's the video. I will have the women's one out tomorrow. Watch that one, please. Peace.